Welcome back everyone. So we will go through next section is supervised learning. So in our course, we already have the data preprocessing. So it's like exploratory data analysis, data cleaning, feature scaling, data transformation, encoding, splitting data, and practical implementation in the section 2. Also, we go to our section 3 in machine learning. Section 3 supervised learning regression. Subsection 1 is introduction to linear regression. So linear regression is a fundamental algorithm in supervised learning used for predicting a continuous target variable based on one or more predictor variable. The linear regression equation can be expressed as y is equal to b0 plus b1 times x1 plus b2 times x2 plus until bn times xn. Y is the target variable, dependent variable, x1 until xn are the predictor variable, intermediate variable, b0 is the intercepts, b1 until bn are the coefficient of the predictors. So application of linear regression like predicting the house price based on features such as area, number of rooms, etc., forecasting sales based on previous trends, and also estimating the relationship between variables in research and experiments. So we will go to importing library and dataset. We will use the California hosting dataset from scikit-learn, right? So we will go through in here, like we want to make the subsection first. Subsection is supervised learning regression, and then we go to subsection in introduction to linear regression. Okay, in here we go to data preprocessing, and then this same section is supervised learning regression and introduction to linear regression. And also we currently import the library and loading the data sets. So load the California hosting data set like this. So we go to check the data. So MEDV is the hosting target. So this is the hosting X. So this is X. This is Y variable. Okay, we go to the data preprocessing and select a subset of feature and target variable. So in here, like we go. Oh, sorry. In here we delete this. Data preprocessing, like select a subset of feature and target variable, like maybe we want just X is Med Inc. and house age, right? So and the Y is value as a target, so Y is MEDV. Also we want to split the train into training and testing like this. So we go run this. And then implementing linear regression. So we want to implementing the linear regression. Fit a linear regression model and evaluate its performance. So model, we use linear regression model. In here, like we use a linear model, import linear regression. Also, we model fit X trend and Y trend and prediction and model predicts. So we want to check the mean square error and R2 score. And we go in here, like mean square error is 0.66 and R square is 0.49. Right, so it calculated metrics. So if you don't know what is mean square error, we can check in here. What is mean square error in linear regression? So this is the equation for the mean square error. So I don't give an explanation about this. So we just want to use Python, but mean square error is a metric used in linear regression to measure how well a model prediction match to the actual value in data sets, right? So it's measure the average square difference between the predicted and the actual target value within the data set. So it's regression and interpretation. So it's a metric that measures how well a linear regression model predict a set of data. A lower MSA indicates that the model prediction are closer to the actual value. So if a lower indicates that the model prediction are closer to the actual value, a larger, smaller is this pretty close around the mean. So it use something like that. So there's an error like this. So if a lower, if the data is likely close to the line, it will generate, and so our mean square error is 0.66, which is really good, which is good. So how about we visualization the result? Plot the relationship between the actual and predicted value for one of the feature. So we use matrix. So this is the actual data. So this is a predicted data. So this is it have a linear regression, actual versus predicted. So actual is like that, and predicted is the red one. So as you can see, like there's a few in here, but there's in here like there's no predicted is a lot of one linear regression, but in here like they just fall in this. Okay. This is a plot between the actual and predicted value for one of the features. So it matching, right? So how about we check the house age? Okay. Okay. In this, so the house age is really good or not good, but they predicted the house age. So yeah, it's median income, but in here if you want to house age, how about we add maybe population in here, population. So we go again with the data. So we want to maybe see the population, median population, median population, median income. So yeah, if you can see like yeah, it's not really that bad. So yeah, the square error is small also, and R square is small also. So yeah, it's check the predicted and actual value. And what is R square, right? So we can see the mean square error is like this. How about what is R square in the regression? So R square is a statistical measure in regression model that determines the proportion of variance in the dependent variable that can be explained by the independent variable. Like in other words, R square so well the data fit the regression model, the goodness of fits. So yeah, it's R square is 0 to 100, making it easy to figure out how good the model is. Think you have to learn about statistics more if use this, but we just want to use Python, so we make income, house value, predicted, and value like this. Okay guys, it was the introduction to linear regression. See you guys in the next video. Thank you. Okay, welcome back guys. So in here we go to still in section 3, supervised learning regression. Subsection 2 is implementing linear regression in Python. So before we just we already use linear regression, but we don't go to the linear regression like model intercept or model coefficient, like we don't making the prediction and we not really evaluating the model before, so we go through the like that. So in this section, in this subsection, we will implement a linear regression model using scikit-learn. The model will be trained to predict a target variable based one or more features. We will also evaluate the model performance using key like root mean square error, RMSE, and R square. We will use the California housing dataset for demonstration. So the step 1 is importing library and dataset. So we already make this before, and we splitting the dataset into training and testing, and then we building the linear regression model. So we go to in here, like we go to the text as implementing linear regression in Python. So we in here like we already make the step 1, but we make again, maybe it's for like this. And step 2 is splitting into train and test split. So you can see like this is 16,000 data and 4,000 data testing, right? So we make the step 3 is building the regression model. So the linear model is using linear regression and model fit X trend and Y trend. You can see the intercepts is model intercepts and coefficient is like this. So if you can see, like our intercepts is in here, B0 is the intercept. So in here we can use this as for example, in here like so B0 is intercept, so in here like y is 0.597 and coefficient is like this, no, something like this, and then minus 110 like this, right? So we use this equation for the net income and average rooms for the data MDV like this, right? So it use this equation for the target values. So net income is 1.43 and the average rooms is 0.04. So X1 is net income and X2 is average rooms, like this. So this is the linear regression model, and then the next is we go to the making prediction. Step 4 is we make the prediction, predict on the test set. So yeah, prediction model predict X test. So we train the model in 16,000 data, and we testing the 4,000 data. We test that. So we check the value. So the predicted value is 116, and the actual value is, yeah, it's not really that close, but it's close, yeah. Something like 2.78 is like just a 2.189 just 2.85. So you can see it's not really that good, but yeah, it's using a linear regression, right? So we don't really predict that good. So we evaluated the model performance. So root mean square error is 0.84 and R square is 0.46. So this is the root mean square error and R square. So it's really important to see this. And then there's a keynote. Root mean square error is measured the average magnitude of prediction error. R square indicate how well the independent variable expand the variability of the dependent variable, and R square value closer to 1 indicate a better fit. So you can see in our here it's not really that good, right? So it's not closing into 1. We go to the visualization result. Okay. So you can see like predicted values is in here, like predicted. Yeah, it's it's really a few of them is good, but if you can see that this is good or not good, depends on your analysis, right? So this is predicted, and this is the actual values, and then this is the residual plot. So yeah, it's really a few of them is good, but yeah, not really that good. In the predicted housing data. So in here, California housing dataset, yeah, it's not really good using the linear regression model, but we get the point to use the linear regression model in here. Okay, guys, maybe it's for the implementing linear regression in Python. This is just for example. We will go through the example more detail later. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Okay, welcome back everyone. So we go to our section 3, supervised learning regression. We go to subsection 3, polynomial regression. Like polynomial regression is an extension of linear regression that models the relationship between the independent variable x and the dependent variable y as the ninth degree polynomial. It is used when the data show a non-linear relationship that cannot be captured by a straight line. The equation for polynomial regression is b0 plus b1 times x plus b2 times x squared and plus bn times x square n. Right? So y is the dependent variable, x is independent variable. b0 until bn are the coefficient. Like why we use polynomial regression, like when the relationship between variable is non-linear. So this is really important to see. When the relationship between variable is non-linear, we use polynomial regression. When linear regression fails to capture patterns in the data. So maybe we want to use the synthetic data to demonstrate polynomial regressions and analysis its performance. First, we will generate a data set with a non-linear relationships to demonstrate polynomial regression. Right? So we go in here, important library and generating data. So in our code, we mix the section polynomial regression. So in here, like we go to step 1 is importing libraries and generating data. First, we will generate a data set with a non-linear relationship to demonstrate polynomial regression. So import numpy, snp, like matplotlib like usual. So we generate the synthetic data, random values. So we visualize the data. So we see in here is like r square, like x square is like quadratic. Maybe we want to quadratic regression. So you can see like it looks like this, right? So it makes a quadratic regression and using a polynomial regression. Quadratic regression is a scientific method that finds a parabola that best fit a set of data points. So regression using polynomial regression. Yeah, it looks like this. So simple linear model is like this, linear, but polynomial you can use like this. So in our data is use something like this. We use synthetic data, like we don't use the host pricing. We just use an example data like this. So yeah, it's using a polynomial model rather than a linear model. So we can see like it's a quadratic, this is a cubic. So yeah, we use maybe a quadratic first, and then if we go to advanced, we use a cubic like times 3 x root of 3, right? So something like that. So we go in here, we split the data into training and test to avoid the model performance, right? So we go in here, X trend or Y trend. So we 18 and 20 data, we split the data, and then we go to fitting a linear regression model. So we check here like a linear regression model first before we go to polynomial regression model, right? So we check in here step 3, fitting a linear regression model. Before applying polynomial regression, we will fit a linear regression model to observe its limitation, right? So we check in here like linear regression is 15.01. So you can see interpretation in here. So RMSA measured the average error between predicate and actual values. A lower RMSA indicated better performance. So this is not a lower, so this is a bigger RMSA, so it's not really that good. R square indicate the proportion of variance explained by the model. Value closer to 1 indicate a better fit, but it's not really that close to 1, but yeah, it's close but not really. Okay, so how about we go to the fitting polynomial regression. So in here we check step 4 is fitting a polynomial regression model. We will now transfer the feature into polynomial terms and fit a regression model. So we check the polynomial feature, we make a degree is 2. X trend is polyfeature fit transform X trend. X test is transform X test. And fit the polynomial regression model, poly model using linear regression, and poly model fit X trend, poly, and Y trend. Predicted on the test. What trend? Yeah, predicted on the test set. Yeah, per poly model predict X test poly. Calculated the RMSA and R square, so we can see like this. If you can see the difference is linear regression is in here, but polynomial is this. So it's really a difference. RMSA is more better interpretation. So we use this. So linear regression RMSA, so 15. So the lower RMSA indicate better performance. So polynomial regression indicate better performance, and value closer to 1 indicate a better fit. So polynomial regression R square is more better fit rather than linear regression R square, right? So it's really a difference value in here. So polynomial is more better rather than the linear regression. Also, interpretation like polynomial regression capture the non-repeat leading to improved metric compared to linear regression. In here, like polynomial regression capture the non-linear relationships leading to improved metric compared to linear regression. So yeah, so it's more better non-linear relationship rather than the linear relationship using the polynomial regression. So we want to check the visualization results. So in here, like visualizing the results, compare the prediction of linear and polynomial regression model. So we sort the data for plotting, XPlot like this, plot poly features transforms, and plot linear model predicts, and yeah, plot poly model predicts. So PLT scatters using X and Y, color blue, XPlot, plot linear, like this, linear versus polynomial regression. So you can see like data is here, polynomial is using polynomial regression, and linear regression is like this. So it's really indicate that polynomial regression is more better using the data looking quadratic like this. So you can see like it's more better using polynomial regression rather than using trend linear like this, right? So yeah, it's really a simple analysis with the difference between simple linear and polynomial model. You can see that in here like x are x square like this, but in our training and our linear is just x and x and x2, x3 and xn. They not using a square. So yeah, it was the difference between polynomial regression and the linear regression. So in conclusion, like in here, like we can use this. Like polynomial regression is a powerful tool for modeling nonlinear relationship. So proper evolution metric is like RMSE and R-square are crucial for comparing models. So we already checked in here like polynomial is much more better rather than linear regression using check in using RMSE and R-square, right? So its lower MSA indicate better performance and value to cost indicate better fit. It's interpretation like that. So I hope you understand what we are cover in this video. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Hello, welcome back everyone. So we still in the section 3, supervised learning regression. So we go to subsection 4, ridge, lasso, and elastic net regression. So regularization techniques such as ridge, lasso, and elastic net regression are used to prevent overfitting by adding a penalty term to the loss function. This technique ensures that the model generates well on unseen data. So ridge regression adds an L2 penalty, square magnitude of coefficients, shrink coefficient to 0 but never makes them exactly 0, best suited for multicollinear data or when all predictors are useful. So we can check what is the regression. So regression is statistical technique that corrects for overfitting in machine learning model. It used in linear regression model to address multicollinearity, which is when independent variables are highly correlated. So regression adds a penalty term to the cost function, which brings all coefficient to 0, and this is our in our for applications like this, rich regression. So yeah, it's giving something in the data, and the NLP for machine learning to capture true relationship. So this is the equation is in rich regression, so, but I will not give you much for the equation. We just using the rich regression in Python. So yeah. Lasso regression adds an L1 penalty, absolute value of coefficients, can shrink some coefficient to exactly zero, effectively performing feature selection. So we can check again what is lasso regression. So it's same with the rich regression. Lasso regression, or least absolute shrinkage and selection operator, is a statistical technique that helps improve the accuracy of model by reducing overfitting. It's type a linear regression that often used in machine learning to analyze large amount of data. So yeah, it's use the residual sum of square, the penalty to enforce some coefficient to be exactly zero, which removes certain feature from the model. This process helps to identify the most relevant variable and improve prediction accuracy. So when it used, lasso regression is often used in machine learning to analyze large amount of data. It can be used to automate feature selection and improve model performance. It can be used predicting like housing price, customer churn, and gain expression. So rate regression, like a technique that penalizes less coefficient but by adding a square penalty, but in linear regression, a basic linear regression technique that lasso regression is based on. So it's like that. The other one, the last one is elastic net regression, like combines L1 and L2 penalty, useful when there are many correlated predictors and some needs to be eliminated. So there's a elastic net regression. So elastic net regression is a machine learning algorithm that combines the lasso and rich regression methods to improve statistical model. It's a linear regression technique that uses regression to select variable and shrink coefficient, right? So when to use, when the number of sample is less the dimensionality of the data, when there are group of variables that are highly correlated, when there are large data set with high dimensionality, when there is multicollinearity in the data. How elastic net regression works, like use penalty term that combines L1 norm and L2 norm of the coefficient. The L1 norm penalty is similar to lasso, which sets coefficient to 0. L2 norm penalty is similar to rich, which shrink coefficient to 0. A mixing parameter called L1 ratio controls the balance between L1 and L2 penalty. Benefit of elastic net regression, it can handle multicollinearity and feature selection. It can be used to create simple models that focus on the most important variable. It can be used to project more stable model, so it makes the model more stable. So you can see like this, the elastic net regression. It's using lasso, rich, and elastic nets. So it's make more the model more stable, and it makes to use it can handle multicollinearity. So if you can see like what is multicollinearity is the intercorrelation among two or independent variables. So in statistics, multicollinearity is situation where the predictor in regression model are linearly dependent. Perfect multicollinearity refers to situation where the predicted variable have an exact linear relationship. So independent variable when the equation is correlated. So you should know that this is from basic statistics. So because we are Python machine learning course, we not really learn about multicollinearity in here. For example, we will use California housing dataset for this demonstration. Like step 1, we go to the here. Okay. Let's also and elastic regression. So step 1 is importing library and dataset. We use California housing dataset like before. We check the California datasets. So we split the data is same simple like before, and we make the another 2 steps. Step 2 is splitting data and X trend and Y trend. So we split the data is X is all of this, and Y is MADV, right? So Y data MADV like this. So we split 80%, so like before, 16,000 data for training and 400 data for testing. We go in here in step 3, regression. So in here we go to step 3. So risk regression, reduce overfitting by adding an L2 penalty. The lambda control the penalty strengths. Larger value leads to stronger regression. RMSE measure to average error between predicted and actual value. Lower RMSE is better. So we can check. This is a ridge regression, RMSE and R square. So we use a ridge model used in our here linear model. Import ridge, lasso, and elastinate. We import the tree of the model. And we use a ridge model, predict X test, and we evaluate the model. We use to RMSE and mean square error and R2 score. We get this ridge regression model. And the next is we go to the lasso regression. So step 4 is like lasso regression. Can check in here. We go something like this to comment them. So lasso regression, perform feature selection by shrinking some coefficient to 0. Use lasso when you suspect that some predictors are irrelevant or redundant. So lasso is alpha 0.1. So lasso model fit X trend and Y trend like this. Y prediction as lasso model predict X test. So we evaluate the model and NumPy square roots is mean square error like this. So we go check the lasso. We go check the difference. Not much of difference with lasso and ridge regression, right? So yeah, it's like in lasso we get 0.78 and ridge regression is 0.75. So in RMSE lower is better, so the ridge regression much better than lasso regression. How about we check the elastic net regression? Right, so we use elastic net regression. Here. So elastic net regression, elastic net combines the strength of ridge and lasso by balancing L1 and L2 penalty. Use elastic net when there are highly correlated features and some needs to be removed. So elastic net, we use a selective net, and elastic net model fit X trend and Y trend. Predict on the test set, Y predict elastic net model predict X test. So RMSE, elastic, NumPy, square, mean square error, Y test, and we check the elastic net. So 0.76 and 0.59. So we go in here, like this regression is here. So it's not really much difference, but in the California house data sets. but you can see like, yeah, overall regression much better, right? So yeah, we can check the comparing results. Yeah, maybe we just use this. Okay, in here, yeah, in here like RMSA is 0.74, like it is much better, and it's much better. Actually, Rich is much better than Lasso and ElasticNet. And we visualization the coefficient. So yeah, if you can see, like the Rich coefficient is like the ElasticNet coefficient and Lasso coefficient. Like they makes coefficient much more difference. Okay, something like this, and we go in here like the conclusion. The conclusion in here. So regression is ideal for multicollinear data. So Lasso perform filter selection, make it suitable for sparse model. So ElasticNet combines the advantages of Rich and Lasso, balancing flexibility and robustness. So maybe our data is more multicol, so it makes the Rich more RMSA more small and R-score more fit to one. So our model is much more enriched rather than ElasticNet or Lasso, right? So if you publish a paper, then this is your data for using Rich regression, Lasso, or ElasticNet combines. So okay, it's net regression. So maybe we check another in Google for the difference between. So yeah, Rich is reduce multicol, stabilize coefficients, adds penalty for less coefficients. Lasso is produce variable selection, but Elastic is combines the Rich and Lasso. Yeah, something like that. Machine Rich, Lasso, and ElasticNet regression are all machine learning techniques that use regularization to improve the performance of linear model. They are used to understand the relationship between variables and can handle multicollinearity. Okay. Is elasticness ElasticNet always better? So yeah, not really, right? So overall the regression technique can handle multi-call which occur 2 or more feature, and it can also handle dataset with a large number of feature, number of observation. So if you can see in here, yeah, it's really same with our in linear regression. So it's better for high dimensional data. When the number of features is much larger than the number of sample, ElasticNet is often better choice compared to Lasso or Rich alone. So it's better for high dimensional data. Actually, in our example, so not really much difference with the output of Rich, Lasso, and ElasticNet. It's make the data itself is, yeah, it's somehow it's good, yeah, because it's not really difference in here. Okay, I guess I think it's all for this Rich, Lasso, and ElasticNet regression. So yeah, it's much better if you know what are you going to use, like it is Rich or Lasso or ElasticNet. So it's a better example for that. So I hope you understand. See you guys in the next video. Thank you. Hello, welcome back guys. In this section, still in the supervised learning regression, we will go to subsection 5 is projects. We will go to predicting housing price, and in this projects, we will predict housing price using Kaggle housing price datasets. These datasets include various features that describe properties and their corresponding sales price. It is suitable for demonstrating how to pre-process the data, train regression models, and evaluate performance. You can download the dataset directly from Kaggle. So this is a house price, like advanced regression techniques. So predict sales, price, and practice feature engineering, RF, and gradient boosting. So it has data field like this. So we can use importing library and datasets. So the step one is we import the, maybe we make this as project predicting house price. So we make this as step one, importing library and datasets. So we check the data. We make latitude, longitude, house and median, total rooms, total bedrooms, and etc. And we also make the dataset contain various features such as the number of room, location, and median income. Each row represents a property, and the target variable is the median house value. So in here, median has value, right? So yeah. So we go to step 2 is exploratory data analysis. Like we want to identify highly correlated features with the target variable, visualize relationship using scatter plot for top features. So in here we will go through like this. Step 2, and then overview. We want to check the interpretation in here. So we want to check data correlation. So we check the data info. Data info is in here like 20,000 data, but this all of these 20, but total bedroom is have have a null. So we check the value data null. So we see in here like maybe okay. How about we use this? Okay, latitude, longitude. So total bedroom have a new value, right? So we don't want to see data null. So in total bedroom have a null like 200 null. So we can check data preprocessing, like we want to use handling missing value and filter scaling. So we handling the missing value for all of this. So in data preprocessing, we're handling missing value and filter scaling, right? So we make this interpretation is median value, data, median, data info, data head, median values, and convert nearby to numeric. So it have correlation matrix. So we check in here median value, data medians, data field name, median value, data median cannot convert to numeric. So we get the error in here. So we can see that ocean proximity is like this, like nearby, like that, right? So how about we transforming the data first, like maybe we don't want to implementation, like we make this as handling missing value and feature scaling in here, like we want to make this as encoding, so we want to make this an encoding. So in data, the ocean proximity is we want to make these columns ocean proximity under the Sigami, like we check again. Yeah, it's true. So yeah, so the ocean proximity is not numeric data, right? So we go to numeric data first. So we transform them to one-hot encoding. So we can check in here like data head like this. So ocean proximity inline in island, nearby, and near ocean. So we use false, true, false like this. And also we make this visualize correlation. In here, visualize correlation. Here maybe we don't use this. Step 3 and scalar. We we split the data. Okay, we check in here like. So this is step 3 is data preprocessing, right? So handling missing value and future scaling. So we get the median values is data medians and data fill now is median values. So X, if you can see, define feature and target variable. X is data drop column median host value. So median host value is the Y variable, and X is another. So you can see like this, maybe data info. So it's already 20. All of it is 20,640, right? So if you can see in here, like it have total bedroom is 20,433. So we drop the total bedroom, we input them to be median. So fill missing value with median. So the total bedroom is 20,640, and before it's not 20,000, 20,000, it's 20,433. But right now we input the median value, fill median values. So the total bedroom right now is have 20,640. So it's the data preprocessing is handling missing value and fill missing value with medians. define target variable and standardized numeric feature. So the float will be standardized. So we can check in here and head. So we standardize the data. So we input the missing value. Missing value are inputted with the median to preserve data integrity, and features are standardized to improve model performance. So we use standardized and scalar bit transforms. Also, we go to the model training. Oh, we splitting the data first. Splitting the data like this. Splitting the data, and step 4, splitting the data, and X-train in here. So interpretation, maybe we don't use this. Yes. So training set shape, so 16,512 data, and training test shape is 4,000 data. So as you can see, like this is 20,000 data. So this is 18% of training set shape and 20% of stating set shape. So splitting the data ensures the model is trained on one set and evaluated on unseen data to go generalization performance. So the next step is model training. So we train about using Ridge, Lasso, and elastical model. So we train them. So elastical, Ridge model fits, X-train, Y-train, elastical, and we want to see the model evaluation. The model evaluation is in here. Like, yeah, you can see in here. So the interpretation, RMSA lower, indicated better, lower. So you can see that the ridge regression is much lower than lasso and elastic, and R square is better in ridge and lasso, and not really in R square in elastics, right? So in our data, it's more good using ridge regression rather than lasso and elastic net. This is the code. So we use ridge model predicts. We use RMSA like this, mean square root, mean square error, and then R2 score like usual, like the other example in here. So avoid lasso regression, we use lasso, and we use elastic net. So we have the conclusion of the data. The better model is using the ridge regression, because the RMSA lower, RMSA better predictive accuracy. So the lower is the ridge regression, and the elastic net not really that much lower, but in the R square, ridge regression and lasso has same R square, but in the elastic more lower, which means not really that good. So the ridge regression is win for our data in this model. Okay, we also make to check the visualization. Check the visualization is actual versus predicted value. So this is the ridge prediction. So yeah, we use ridge prediction prediction to, because the ridge is much more better rather than lasso and elastic, right? So we use Ye-Pratt-Ridge in here. So yeah, this is a difference between Ridge and the others. How about we use the elastic net? In here we can check elastic net. The value in here we change using elastic net, and this is elastic net. Ye-Pratt elastic net. So yeah, it's really much the same, not really that much of difference, but using elastic nets much more lower than using the ridge prediction. So it's more good using the ridge regression rather than elastic net in our data. Okay, I highlight in there in our data in here. Not every data ridge regression is much more good, but in this data ridge regression, ridge prediction much more good because the RMSA much lower and R square closer to 1. So it depends on the data. Okay. Also we can check the last one is residual plots, which is in here. So residual plot for ridge regression. So this is the residual plot. The interpretation is so ridge, lasso, and elastic net can handle complex dataset with regularization to prevent overfittings. So RMSA and R square provide insight into model performance. So in our model performance, it's better using ridge regression. Ridge regression because RMSA lower and R square it's much closer than 1. Rather, okay, like this. Okay. So this is the conclusion, which using ridge, lasso, and elastic nets. So and also provide insight into model performance. So we use ridge, lasso, and elastic, and we check the RMSA and R square. So it's better using ridge regression in this data and in this model. Okay guys, I hope you understand. Like this is we have supervised learning regression. We go to introduction. We implementing the linear regression. We implementing the polynomial regression. We use ridge, lasso, and elastic net regression, and we go to project predicting house price. So I hope you understand this, and I hope you try your own data, try your own model, and to see what's the difference between ridge, lasso, and elastic net, difference between linear regression, polynomial regression, and etc. See you guys in the next section, in the next video. Thank you.